Lucas the Machine Matthysse versus Roberto Ortiz. Just watch this fight. Ended in 2 rounds. What was my prediction? Lucas Matthysse by knockout, of course. But then again, you don't got to be a boxing expert to know Matthysse is going to knock the guys out. But anyway, I said it could have been early or it could have been late. It ended up being early, but definitely Ortiz could have got up. He looked like, obviously the shot hurt him. He said it hurt him. It was a body shot. And usually everyone who gets hit with body shots, they take the full 9 seconds to recover before getting up. And the ref, forget what the ref's name was, but the ref made a mistake. Roberto Ortiz got up at the 9 count clearly, and the ref waved his hand and called it off. And definitely he made a mistake because you're allowed. Obviously, the ref is allowed to stop the fight if the fighter's in danger, but the ref said he stopped the fight because he got counted out, but really he got up on 9. Both his knees were off the ground and his hands were off the ground, and he was fine. I don't know if he's seen him spit the mouthpiece out. Maybe that influenced him, saying that the guy didn't want anymore. But the guy, Roberto Ortiz, never been knocked out. He looked fine. He wanted to continue. If he didn't want to continue, he would have just stayed on one knee and not gotten up. But he obviously wanted to continue, so who knows what would happen. It was too early to tell how the fight was going to go, but if I had to pick, I would say Matthysse was going to have his way anyway, and he was eventually going to get him out of there, or he would have just beat him up for 12 rounds. But who knows what would happen, but because the ref did screw up. But anyway, I think Matthysse would have still got the job done. He looked good. He has crazy power. His fists are stone. He hits you and it hurts. He's the machine. And at the end of the fight, at the end of the 2 rounds, he calls out Danny Garcia. He really wants that rematch. It was a really close fight, the first fight, and he called Danny Garcia a chicken. He called him I forget word for word what he said, but he said he's a chicken if he doesn't accept my fight or something. And he's facing bums. Why don't you fight a real fighter like me again? So hopefully the rematch gets made, because definitely Lucas Matthysse deserves it after the wins he's been getting after the fight with Danny. He definitely deserves it. He's knocked out both his opponents since that fight with Danny. So he's on a winning streak, and he deserves it. Danny, if I was Danny, I would take the fight, because when a guy calls you a chicken and calls you out like that, you have to respond and give the guy a rematch, especially since it was close. Definitely, I want to see that fight. Hopefully it gets made next, but we all know boxing doesn't give us what we want a lot of the time. So don't be surprised if that fight never happens. And watch Lucas Matthysse get Broner first. That fight will probably get made more likely than Danny versus Matthysse. So anyway, either way, whoever Matthysse faces, I'll pick him to beat Danny Garcia in the rematch, just like I thought he would beat him in the first fight. And I think he'll destroy Broner. But definitely that eye really disrupted Matthysse performance. But then again, Danny Garcia did cause that injury, so you can't really say that as an excuse. But definitely, I think a rematch would be different, and I think Matthysse would win the rematch and possibly knock out Danny. So, fight ends in 2 rounds. Matthysse wins by knockout, and his knockout streak goes up even higher. He is now, what's his record now? I think he's now, let's see here, 36 wins, 34 KOs. And over 25 of those, I think 29 of those or under 4 rounds or something ridiculous like that. So he knocks out everyone. And yeah, so looking forward to the rematch with Danny Garcia. Hopefully it happens. Great job by Lucas Matthysse, one of my favorite fighters, one of my most favorite fighters in boxing today. True warrior. I love his style, and yeah. I look forward to seeing him in the ring every time. He's definitely one of my favorite fighters, in my top 5 favorite fighters. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about that fight. I thought it shouldn't have been stopped, but it did. But like, it probably would have been, Lucas Matthysse probably would have won anyway. But definitely the ref made a bad call. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like my videos, and I'll look forward to seeing the machine back in action.